Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV, your local market update.
And I am DeLynn Gaston. Thanks for joining us on today's show. Look, we have company. Yay! We have friends. We have friends.
We have friends.
Somebody likes us. We have friends.
We haven't determined if they liked us yet.
They actually paid us to be here.
Yeah, we paid big
Well,
money.
I know. I'll see what we had to do.
So today we have special guests from Cooperative Med. We have Dr. Mike, and we have Steve Chewcaskie.
Oh, he said that well.
You did great. You're
Look at that name. Look at that name. I'm sure it's down there.
So we know that buying a house and real estate and your financial health are very important.
Right.
So they're going to talk to us about our real health. Because if you are not healthy enough to function your day-to-day life, how can you possibly go out there and buy a house in this market?
And make good decisions in general. That's
Exactly.
So there's just like maybe a little bit of stress that goes with buying a house.
No.
Right? Not that we would know anything about that.
There's a lot of stress involved in it. So after you go through the mortgage process, you probably want to talk to these guys right away.
And maybe even before, during, after, because they're going to talk about some tips to kind of keep you calm. And then after the whole thing, then they're going to need like a massage. And I don't know if you guys don't offer that, but
We charge extra for that, actually.
So it sounds like they're into a whole new concept in the medical industry. So,
which is really very cool.
Yeah, so maybe Steve, you want to tell us a little bit about it, or Dr. Mike, you want to tell us about your practice and how it functions and how it works, and what makes you guys different. You're not just a doctor, obviously.
Well, it's a concierge medical practice. Okay. So we actually introduced the concept to Tampa Bay back in 2002. And a concierge practice is a low-volume medical practice that allows me as the physician to provide more time and energy to fewer patients. So what that does is it allows me to offer certain services and amenities that are very difficult, if not impossible, to provide in a traditional high-volume setting, such as house calls.
Okay, so you have a lower load of patients then.
I was just going to say, because of time constraints, I would imagine, with most of these, right? They probably see, I don't know, thousands of patients.
Yeah, what does a typical doctor see?
Yeah.
The average primary care physician in the United States sees 3,000 or more patients, and a average
3,000.
3,000.
3,000. Do you think he knows your name? Do you think he knows your name?
Well, it's hard when you have that many patients.
I know.
And there's physicians in the Hillsborough and Pinellas counties that have over 10,000 patients.
Oh my gosh.
So what we have is a low volume antithesis to that traditional model, whereby we only manage the care of between 400 and 600 patients. Most concierge doctors care for about 600 patients. So that's a dramatic difference.
Huge difference. Yeah. So you have obviously a much more personal connection. And you said, did I hear house calls? No, I didn't hear that. Did I really?
Yeah, we do. We do house calls.
But so you have a low volume of patients. Maybe you get to know your patients better. Kind of like us, we only deal with 2,000 or 3,000 people a week. We get to know every one of them. No, but I'm just saying, in general though, I mean, you need to know your patient and understand what they're going through, their family. You probably know, how many children they have, or what their favorite sports team is, and so forth. Where a typical doctor, you're just a number. You're just coming through and they stamp you and say, go over there.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate byproduct of our healthcare system. It's not the physician's fault. But yeah, we strive
to have good doctor.
We strive to have
sticking up.
Collaborative relationships with our patients, whereby we partner to try to improve outcomes. And I think it's the best way to practice medicine. It's a teamwork approach. I'm not a dictator and you're non-compliant, right, Barry?
Yes.
Okay. You heard
he watches our show.
You heard it. So we try to collaborate with the patient, and I genuinely believe that's the best way to get outcomes.
Actually, what's interesting.
This is Steve.
Is my mother-in-law is a patient of Dr. Mike's. And she's in her 80s, and when she signed up, and the first day she went over to the practice, there was nobody in the waiting room. And her reaction to that is she was afraid is that Dr. Mike was not a good doctor.
Right. Oh boy, it's kind of like the restaurant that has no cars in there, right? Oh, there's a reason.
It's funny, we see this in the lending industry, and I'm not picking on any of the big banks.
No cars in the parking lot?
No. No, the number of people, the volume, and I hear about people refining their house because we're in a refinance boom right now, and they tell me they send their file in 2-3 months ago and they still haven't heard anything because they're dealing with the
banks,
masses.
right? Yep. Right.
And I won't bring any of the big banks like America and
Wells Fargo.
But they're just a mill. They just pump them through. You're a number. Where same thing in our industry. We're smaller. We get the hands-on. We know about their birthdays, their tendencies.
Right.
We know where their kids go to school,
right.
and so forth. So
we see them in the grocery store.
Is that kind of the same way your practice works, though? You have that relationship. I think it's all about relationships today in business, in any business.
It is. It's very personalized.
And from a financial standpoint, you were saying how this saves people money too. So let's talk about that, because we all are all about saving some money, right? Everybody got hurt in the economy when it went down, so everyone is slowly starting to rebuild.
When did the economy go down?
But now we're smarter with our dollars. At least we're trying to be smarter with our dollars. Stop.
Sorry.
So
let me sit here and drink.
So Dr. Mike and Steve were telling us with their new concept, it really is a great way to help people save some money.
Yeah, and it genuinely is. I mean, from day one, I always thought that a concierge or membership medical practice model could potentially save people money. And there is pilot data that shows that by investing a little bit of money up front into a concierge medical practice, that it does reduce ER utilization, urgent care clinic utilization, fewer hospitalizations, and fewer referrals to other specialists or subspecialists. All of those things can save the consumer money and reduce the cost burden generated by those healthcare dollars over time.
You're absolutely right.
Are you going to bring up one of your children here? I just got a feeling.
That child I have to wrap in bubble wrap. I swear, that child, I'm not kidding. There's always something. So I don't know what he did. He did something or another, and he's limping around or whatever, and I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was like going on for a couple of days, and I said, okay, that's it.
You can call these guys. No. That's their number.
No, so you know what I did? So I took him to the emergency room, because it was like, the weekend or a Sunday night or an evening or something like that, and I knew that the doctor wasn't open and I wasn't going to be able to get anybody, so I took him to the emergency room. Do you know the fortune it cost me? First of all, you get a bill from it wasn't even a doctor. It was the
mid-level,
PA. Yeah. The physician assistant. Get a bill from them. Then you get a bill from the nurse practitioner or something like that. Then you get a bill from the hospital. Then you get a bill from, I don't know, I got like 4 different bills. And it was over $1,000.
It's not bad.
No,
For an ER visit.
And at least the ERs and hospitals are pretty much regulated. There's now trauma centers that are out there that are not regulated.
Really?
And in a trauma center, you go to a trauma center, you might pay twice as much as if you went to the emergency room.
Well, after the $1,000, I kind of wanted to put him back in the emergency room. Wow. How's your leg feel now?
Wow. So there's ways that they can actually save, because if this happened on, are you saying people can call on a weekend or an evening or?
Yeah, but if I got plans, I'll probably maybe give you Steve's number or even Barry's number. So if it's a holiday, you might get Barry's number.
I can fix anything.
We'll meet you, sure. We'll meet you.
I can fix anything but a broken heart.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's no barriers between the patient and the physician. We basically eliminated and dissolved those barriers. So you have direct access to your private physician through my cell phone, HIPAA-compliant email address, and...
Did you hear that? HIPAA compliant.
I had to say that. I got to throw that in there.
He does. He has to, right? You guys are more regulated than we are. We sit here complaining. I feel bad for him.
He probably knows the fine.
I don't want to know it.
I have it memorized.
What's really funny is on our test, we have to know the fines.
Yes,
I don't know if you have to know the fines
No,
on your test.
I hope I never know the fines.
I'm like, all I care about, do I know how to make, mortgages?
You just hope that bill
legal
never
stuff?
shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so can we ask the dreaded question? So I'm sure there's tiers and exceptions, and who
Do we have to take a break or anything, though, before we get into that?
Yeah. All right, so when we come back, we're going to tell you how much
We're
money.
getting red flags.
When we get back, we're going to tell you how much this can really save you and what it might cost a typical family to do this.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Mortgages don't need to be complicated. At Norcom, we're here to guide you through the process. By following our tried and true path to success, we make homes happen. To get started, give us a call or apply online. A trusted mortgage consultant will reach out to you to find out what your goals are. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, we are dedicated to helping you achieve your goals. At Norcom, we'll provide a best-in-class customer experience. Once a plan is established, your mortgage consultant will analyze your income, assets, and credit profile in order to customize a plan for you. If you're planning on moving in the next few years, we might suggest an adjustable rate mortgage to be the best option for you. If you're a veteran, we'll get you started on a VA loan with 0% down. And if you're thinking long-term, a 30-year fixed loan might be your best fit. Our professionals are up to date on market trends and will help you make the best decision in choosing your rate. After we've found the program that's best for you, we'll then need to collect some information, including pay stubs, bank statements, and tax forms. Our underwriting team steers a loan through the approval process to verify that all the information you've provided is correct. As the underwriting process is taking place, an appraisal is ordered to determine the value of your home. A professional, local appraiser specializing in your area will determine the home's value. The last leg of this journey is closing your loan. While taking care of any last-minute details, our closing team will work on scheduling your closing date and location. It's that simple. Thank you for taking some time to walk through the mortgage path with us. Remember, we're always here to answer any questions you may have. It may seem intimidating, but here at Norcom Mortgage, we make homes happen.
Okay, we're back, everybody. We're here with Steve Chewcaskie, who's not Polish, by the way, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And Dr. Mike with Cooperative Med, and they're actually local right here in the Clearwater area, Countryside Market on McMullen Booth. So they do. That's your national or your home base, as you call it. There.
So he's mobile.
That's our physical location, but we have a presence all over Tampa Bay. Okay. So we have patients from South Tampa to North Tampa and St. Pete and up this way.
Now we sort of kind of like just jumped right into things, and I do want to get back to that good stuff. But tell me a little bit about your background and stuff like that too. Do you guys when did you start this practice?
I started working on the concept with a colleague actually back in residency when I was at the University of South Florida. And as soon as I finished residency, we launched the practice in 2002. We didn't have any patients. We had no money. We just had a good idea, and we're pretty passionate about how it might fulfill the role of providing optimal health care for certain people.
Right.
So we just kind of put that burden on our shoulders and trudged forward, and here we are 13 years later.
Wow, that is fantastic.
So this isn't just a fad.
No,
this is real.
This isn't new.
No.
This is something that's been around
But
for
I
a
don't
while
think
here.
a lot of people are not educated about this
Right.
stuff. So
Yeah, I spent most of the
probably why we
early
get the
years
word
educating
out.
consumers on what the practice actually was. And
Okay.
you know, we still today talk about it as being a new concept, but really it's not a new concept, but it is new to a lot of people. There's still a
Right.
lot of consumers that just aren't familiar with it.
and then how did you and Steve partner up in this? What's your background in this?
We actually met I was the
Patient. No, I'm
no,
kidding.
well, indirectly, yes. I was actually a patient. I had back pain. We met during Mike's residency.
Okay.
And I was in charge of a pharmaceutical marketing company at the time.
Really?
And we just kind of hit it off
So a drug
immediately.
dealer.
Yeah, exactly. No, helping the drug dealers.
Oh, okay.
We were
You were
marketing.
assistant.
We were marketing the drug dealers.
Oh, okay.
It's all legal though.
That's it. That's it. All
Completely.
above board.
Okay.
And we hit it off, and we actually needed a physician to kind of serve as a person to review our marketing programs and be able to get back to the product directors and whatnot. And Dr. Mike stepped in, and we've been together ever since.
Sounds like a marriage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
So is he your work wife?
Seems that way.
Because she's my work wife. That's what we tell everybody. So, sorry, Mr. Husband.
You know, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He knows better. So that's interesting then. So how you met up and the practice has evolved.
And how it's grown.
Is it growing continually? I mean, is there going to be a
He had no
cap?
patience at first, and
No.
now.
Yeah,
Because we still have no patience. Just so you know, that's a different kind of patience. we're talking about. But we have, but we have
It's
no
hard.
patience. Yeah, we're like 24 to 48 hours in underwriting. Why has it been 72? We have no patience for that. So
As the concept has become more understood, the growth rate's been very nice.
Yes.
Initially, the tough part is really educating that consumer about what it is that we do.
Okay.
And as they found out more and more, and it's becoming a little bit more popular around the nation,
Right.
It's really done very well.
And I was just going to ask, has it grown outside of, you started this here, has it grown outside of Florida? There's other states that have embraced this as well?
Yeah,
That's
it's
fantastic.
It's in most states now, and back in 2002, we were the original in Tampa, and at that time there was fewer than 50 doctors in the entire country doing a similar type of model.
Wow.
Now there's estimated 5,000.
Wow, that is fantastic.
So it's kind of neat to be part of that legacy.
Right.
So you were there on the
That's
ground
excellent.
floor getting this going, and it's great to see that it's working. And what's been the feedback from your current patients you have now? I mean, what kind of feedback are you getting? I mean, obviously some maybe leave for, they die or you kill them. I don't know.
Hopefully not kill them.
Just kidding. No, I mean, but do they stick with you for many years? Do you have some that come and go, try it, not like it, or?
A little bit of all of that. I mean, we've got a core of patients that have been with us for 13 years from the very beginning. And
So you must be doing something right then.
Absolutely. Turnover ratio is
That
very,
they're still
very
alive.
low.
No, I'm kidding.
Very low.
So
Relocation is probably the primary reason that we lose a
Oh,
patient.
yes.
Yeah, relocation.
Especially people
Okay.
are constantly moving in and out of Florida,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Okay, so we were going to get into the money.
The money part.
The money,
yeah.
the
So
money.
I thought we were going to talk about post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes. Okay, we'll go into that first. As we started to say, anybody, a lot of our audience out there is realtors, home buyers. It is stressful. It's very, very stressful going through.
Just what they do. How about the realtors out there?
Right. And
They
when
got to
you-
be stressed more than anybody.
Right. The whole process of going through buying a house, and if you're a realtor selling a house to someone, we take these clients, whether they're sellers or whether they're buyers, and we kind of hold their hands and walk them through. And it is there's a lot that goes on. It's not something they do every day. So the stress levels really rise. And I years ago I read in the Wall Street Journal that it's the second most stressful thing a person goes through in their lifetime is buying a house. It's very traumatic. It's so we wanted to talk to you about some of the things that
You said divorce was the most stressful.
No, you
I
said divorce.
Okay. It depends on the divorce. So, yeah. I think I could have used Dr. Mike a few years ago.
I know. So it is a very stressful thing that people go through. So I would imagine you see a lot of people with some stress levels and all kinds of things in life. Just in general, they don't make very good decisions when they're stressed out, do they? financial decisions, personal decisions, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are studies. There are studies that have been published that show that financial stress can reduce cognitive function. So yes, you can make worse decisions under financial distress.
See, it isn't just
you didn't make it up.
We didn't.
You had to go right to the doctor and ask him, right?
So there really is.
Do you charge for that information?
She will get a bill for that.
All right, see? I had to ask on the show.
I know, now it's all public.
They got it for free and you're going to pay.
Financial stress can also reduce adherence to therapy as well. So they've shown that people that are under undue financial stress are less likely to adhere to recommended therapy regimens. In other words, they're less compliant.
Right.
So,
well,
compliant
just and when it comes to stress, and whether it's buying a house, getting a divorce, whatever, but I find that when I'm having a very stressful day, I don't eat at all. I'm supposed to drink 8 of these a day or something like that. I'm lucky if I have a half of one. And I know that's bad. That's not good. I think when people are going, I know, mine's over there somewhere. I just carried it. Right? People probably have a tendency of, workaholics and are getting so stressed out about something that they completely forget my vitamins, my I need to eat, I need to keep my body fueled, right?
Yeah, I think most of us, it's common sense. We know what to do. We know that it's important when we're under stress, even more so, to optimize nutrition, sleep, hydration,
I don't think people think
exercise.
Of that, though. Yeah.
But when you're under stress, it seems to be something that we end up neglecting, which makes the problem worse.
So what goes out of our brain that we lose all of our common sense? Because we know that we're supposed to be doing that stuff.
I don't know. It's
just goes. Just replaced with all of the confusion of life.
Maybe if you had Dr. Mike, you could have consulted this with him and he would have told you.
And the other stressful thing, bringing that up, Steve and I were talking earlier, right, Steve?
Absolutely.
We're too busy.
Yep.
We don't go to doctors. It's I get there on my scheduled appointment. I have to wait an hour and a half. I get into the little room. I have to wait another 30 minutes for a nurse to come in for 5 seconds, and do this, and then they're out, and then right. So I don't have 2 hours to take out of my day, not to mention the 30 minutes to drive there and back, and everything else. Right.
And I'm an example of that.
Yeah, tell us that story, Steve. This is a great story.
Is too busy, sick,
Right.
didn't feel well, day in, day out, is finally ended up in the emergency room one morning.
Only because his wife told him
because my wife
go.
made me go to the emergency room.
Forced him,
At
right.
least you listened to him.
You weren't going to go.
I was planning on going to work again.
Right.
By the way, this is before we met.
Disclaimer.
This is pre-Mike.
And really had no desire to go to the doctor for those reasons.
Right.
I'm going to wait for 2 hours. I'm going to be fine anyway, or whatnot. And the end
only gonna
result,
see the nurse.
the end result is I had an emergency room physician tell me that I had cancer, which scared the heck out of me and my wife that day.
Absolutely.
Turned out not to be true, but I had a condition that could have been treated with antibiotics, but I waited so long I had to have surgery. And that put me in the hospital for 6 days, out of work for about 3 weeks. And you talk about cost savings, from...
I bet they paid you in full for all those days out, too. Right?
Whatever I did have in sick time.
So, one of the things that I think a lot of people with this whole Obamacare thing, we were talking about that a little earlier, there's people out there who didn't have insurance before, so consequently they never went to the doctor. But now all of a sudden they have insurance, so they're all going to the doctor. So I think that if we have either affordability and we have a doctor that we know that we can go to who actually does know our name, and he's not, nothing against any of the doctors here in Pinellas County, but they're not like churning out 10,000 patients all the time where they don't know much about you. If you have someone who you can trust and you can rely on, I think people are probably more likely to go to the doctor. You would have been, so yours would have been caught early enough that you would have been able to take the antibiotics and you would have avoided
Absolutely.
surgery.
I would have driven into the office, said, hey, what's going on?
Right.
There probably wouldn't have been anybody in the
you
waiting
would
room.
have gotten to him.
And boom, I would, absolutely.
So
Absolutely
correct
true.
me if I'm wrong, so I can paint a picture for our audience. This is kind of like having your own personal doctor on retainer.
Absolutely
He
right.
says he gives out his cell phone.
Yeah, so that's really. So,
Of course, he leaves it in the car.
and what's more important in life than your health? Because if you don't have your health, what do you have, really?
Right.
Going to the doctor is very inconvenient, and that was a great story because it's an inconvenience for us to go to the doctor. So what we've done is we've made it less likely that you're going to have an excuse. We're going to make it as easy for you as we possibly can, whether that means that the physician comes to the house to see you, or that we send our phlebotomist to the house to draw your blood, or if we use technology to do remote visits and transfer diagnostic information, through peripheral technology. We try to make it as easy for the consumer as we possibly can.
Okay, interesting. So let's wrap this up though, and so we can get people all want to know what is this what is it going to cost them? And I know we can save money, but what's a typical? Can you give us an outline of what it could typically cost a family to not have these co-pays and so forth, and going to the ER and specialists, and have you on retainer?
The annual membership fee will range from $1,650 up to over $4,000, depending upon the number of members in the family, whether it's an individual, a couple, or a family. Sliding scale.
Okay.
And then we have a technology package. That's for the whole year. We have a technology package that's more costly.
I know people who are paying that a month.
And then we bill insurance for billable services, office visits, home visits. So the membership fee and the concierge model doesn't replace insurance. Really, it was designed to complement insurance.
I was just going to say it complements it very nicely, right?
Okay.
So
and
we
you
don't
do accept most of the insurances.
We do, yeah.
Right.
And we can't legally forgive co-pays and co-insurance and deductibles.
Yes.
However, we're not dependent upon those insurance dollars as a traditional doctor is. So it frees us up to be a little more lenient when it comes to those additional costs.
Okay.
Very nice.
I think we need to endorse this because we need our clients to make healthy, good financial
decisions.
and
Our clients, our colleagues out there.
Yeah, this sounds great. So, again, we continue to bring you great information. This is Dr. Mike and Steve from Cooperative Med. So get this.
And I know John has their website up, right? Website up, or yes, he
right
does.
Here. So you can contact them for more information.
We usually have this little TV over here, monitor. That
we're in the
tells
dark.
Us everything.
We're not supposed to talk about how they dropped the TV right before we came on the show. So we won't even bring that up this week. All right.
Talk about stress.
I know. Exactly. So we're going to make an appointment for the producer with Dr. Mike right after the show.
I know, he's going to need it. All right, so we should wrap the show up. You guys are located at?
We're located on McMullen Booth Road in Countryside area.
Good.
Just north of Safety Harbor, but again, we're available all over Tampa Bay, so we have patients on both sides of the bay.
How awesome is that? Personal. You get your own doc. It reminds me, one of my favorite movies was that, I forget it, what was the Doc Hollywood? He made house calls.
Yeah, that was cool.
They make house calls. You don't get that anymore. So it's like, it's like
deliver
hometown.
milk too?
Sometimes we've done a lot of stuff. I've driven patients to the ER in my car. I've gone to parent-teacher meetings. I've gone to other doctor's appointments with my patients. I've scrubbed surgery with the surgeon, for some of my patients. So it really revolves around you.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And whether it's the children or whether it's Grandma and Grandpa, you can serve everyone in the middle, right?
All ages.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Delivering
perfect.
milk will not be a problem.
All right, I'm going to ask for the cow next. That's just how I roll. Well, thanks, everybody.
Get this out on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're
Twitter.
all over the web.
We
Twitter.
are.
Share it, like it. Tell everybody about this concept that's not new, but maybe it's new to you. It's Cooperative Med. And
check it out.
Yeah, check it out. And let's make some good, healthy financial and health decisions and get your own little, private little doctor and team here. So I think it's a great concept. I think it's a great concept. And then, of course, come to DeLynn for your, get pre-qualified after you go visit them. Make sure you're healthy. We'll check your financial health and they'll check your physical health. So.
And we'll keep everybody calm, right? That's it.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Did
we
you
have
tell
anything going on before we just sign out? Do we have anything going on that we need to talk about?
We got nothing going on.
We got nothing going on. We never have anything going on. We have coming up the Amazing Race. Make sure May 23rd. Make sure you guys are available. It is going to be an awesome.
And you can get information on that on www.wpba.biz.
WPBA.biz. Information on that, or give me a call. My phone number's up here too. If you want to be a part of our team, it's going to be an awesome thing, all to benefit the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. So it's a great cause. Call us and we'll let you know.
Yep, and absolutely. And
That's
we do have the training for the down payment assist coming up.
Oh, we do. April 7th, we are having a training. If any of you real estate professionals out there would like to come to the training on April 7th at our office at 2157 Springs Boulevard, we are having the CDC.
Yep.
The down payment assistance people are coming to give a training. So, and it is open to any realtor, any real estate professional.
Or anybody looking in the home market
Right.
to purchase a new home. So.
A lot of good and exciting stuff. Reach out. We'll let you know.
Did you
and I know
tell
we
them
got to
what
go. Look how late we
Did you tell them
are.
what they say when we close the show?
No, I didn't.
You're just going to sing moving forward.
So,
okay.
what else is going on? I'm gonna.
All right. So when she points at you, you're saying.
Okay,
no.
here we go. Everybody ready? You guys all out there know we are today and every day
Moving forward.
Thanks.
All right.
We'll see everybody next week. Bye bye.